scared.
So I'm gonna about this video. Let me,
When did this come out?
This is, October 3rd by Business Insider. We got our Beanie Babies valued. So, a lot of times when I'm at work or something, I'll just be browsing, like, GameFAQs or something, and if I ever go to open a new tab, my, like, Google splash screen will recommend various crap at the bottom, just based off of things that it knows I look up, and I have been looking at a lot of Beanie Baby stuff, because I'm dumb that way. And so it recommended this video for me, and I clicked it, didn't want to watch it at work, obviously, and then, like, kept it open for later, but I had noticed that the comments were kind of cancerous. Like,
I mean, it's YouTube.
yeah, it's all these people like, I love this lady's expertise, and I have all of these, and just, like, a bunch of people like, expert in Beanie Babies, lol. But, I'm just like, okay, I need to watch this later and see if they actually know what they're talking about, and oh my god. Oh my god, this video, this thing, I watched it last night, I couldn't fall asleep, and, like, I couldn't fall asleep, and I watched this thing, and it literally kept me up, because I was so pissed off at this thing. It's like, I think there's a comic that's like, come to dinner, it's ready. It's like, no, I can't. Someone's wrong on the internet. It's like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I was so angry at this thing. I'm like, okay, I've got to talk about this video. So, well, I'll be pausing it periodically. So these are just random people. Here's the alleged expert.
Wait, so they didn't actually get the expert?
So, like,
there's two experts, right?
well, there's the Facebook group, and then let me open the site. It's Beanie Baby Price Guide. These are like the three main people. There's two Karens and then Becky, and they're like the big name ones that like know everything and can tell you if something's worthwhile and all that. This, from what I can tell, I looked her up. She is an antique appraiser, like this is correct, but I don't think really knows much in this particular field. And throughout the entire video, I can basically tell that like she knows some stuff, but is bullshitting a massive amount.
Wait, so antique like, usually means over 100 years or more, not.
I think the term is vague, but I'm not really sure. So anyway, also the face.
The Millennium Bear is pure marketing. The only thing is you got to.
So here's like a preview of things to come. I'll talk about them more later.
Like with like mistakes that people tended to want them more.
That's a myth.
It is?
I love the way she looks into the camera there.
That's a myth. Momo.
So has 15, thinks the collection's worth 200. Starting with Princess, of course.
Beanie Babies actually work. So, out of the
why is she wearing gloves though?
A good idea.
And then the other person
Diana
isn't.
Beanie Baby has been very, very popular. Why? Well, of course, she raised a lot of money for the Princess Diana Memorial Foundation Fund. She's introduced 1997, 1998, and they're
why are you saying both years?
things you want to look for. Now, protective tag covers, there's the
Let me just yank on it.
And there's the tush tag on every single Beanie Baby. If you don't have one of the tags, it's not worth as much. I always like people to actually take a look at conditions. People are just saying, what about the tags? The people who don't know what they're talking about with respect to expertise about Beanie Babies are only focusing on tags. There's a lot to focus on.
She's like so stuck up about this.
She's aggressive.
Like, yeah,
she's so aggressive.
The personality was me off too, but what she said there. What she said there is a fair point. Like, you have to pay attention to the body condition as well as the tag. Right. But the thing is, the tags are easily damageable, and so if it's in perfect condition, chances are the rest of it is too. So that's why people
also,
kind of focus on those.
The irony of
I want you to look at conditions.
Talking about expert.
Your Beanie Baby in your hand. I want you to look here at this area to see how the PE or PVC pellets have deteriorated over time.
What the f does that even mean? Okay, first of all, you can just call them plastic beans.
The PE or the PV pellets. Oh
like, okay, let me stop you right there, lady.
Like Digby level.
What do you mean they deteriorated over time? You're saying that since 1997, the plastic has degraded in such a way that's like caused damage? Like what the?
Crumple the bear for?
Okay. Condition is to collectibles. What presentation is to real estate. It has to be in good shape. First of all, you have the protective cover, the plastic cover.
Yeah, and again, you're like
And then
yanking
this
at this
just opens
thing
up. You
really
know what
bad.
else, me? The gloves are to protect the objects from the oils on my hands.
Off.
Get transferred. Any expert who's not wearing gloves to handle your object is not an expert.
Okay, no, pause.
The pieces look.
Because, first of all, like, nowadays, they actually say it's worse for stuff that way.
I know they say that for like old
books
papers.
and papers and stuff like that. They're
I don't
like,
know about these.
Don't
but,
wear gloves because it makes you handle them more. And the other lady isn't wearing gloves.
Yeah, people in the comments were pointing that out
like,
too.
what the
like, what, are you gonna damage the precious purple polyester fiber with your...
It's
like,
fabric. It's
like, yeah,
fine.
don't frickin' go to the bathroom and then handle them
Like,
without
don't
washing
pee
your
on it,
hands.
yeah,
but, like, Jesus Christ.
Like this one that have PE pellets are worth less than those that have PVC pellets.
Okay, I want to point that out. She said this one, which has PE pellets. Hold on.
Who's not wearing gloves to handle your object is not an expert. The pieces like this one that have PE pellets are worth less
Yeah. Let's remember that for later.
The
than
pieces,
those that
okay.
have PVC pellets. This particular piece is worth about $100.
Go off. What? Okay. Let's go back to the site.
You need to, like, post this on...
So Princess Beanie Baby debated, because everybody claims that this thing is valuable, and it's not. So here's the thing with the PE versus PVC. When I did my first Beanie vlog last year, I didn't know the difference because I had, like...
Beanie vlog.
What?
No, I just
But,
like how there's a trilogy now.
Well, there isn't a third one
Oh,
yet,
right,
but
not yet.
there will be at some point. Yeah, I didn't know about this stuff when I first got into it. You have to kind of do some digging, and that's fine. Like, I don't expect people to know this offhand. But PE versus PVC only ever applies to Princess because it was released basically right during the Switch, and so there was, like, very few made with the PVC. And any other beanie, it makes absolutely no difference. And so for this one, basically, like, I don't know how well this is going to show up in the video, because I have the cropping all weird, but basically, like, if it's a PE version, it doesn't really go for anything. Like, the Indonesian ones can, because there's less of them made, but there's so many of the PE pellets, they're not worth anything. And you can even say, like, there's the balance between, like, something can be common but still desired and be expensive, and fair enough, but nobody's paying this. And she even says people are paying this amount later, which is wrong, but it's like the only valuable ones are the PVC ones, and even then they usually aren't that much. Like, unless you have, like, the one really super rare version.
What happened with beanies that were introduced in between as well? Like, why is it just this one that has only both of them?
Princess was introduced at a time where it was nothing else came along with it. It wasn't part of a batch. It was released basically in a rush because of because she died, and basically, like, they wanted to get this thing out.
Marketing.
It was, you could argue that it was like a business move and, like, capitalizing on it, but all of the sales,
everybody else was,
like,
so.
all of the sales for it did go to charity.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, like, super greedy, I don't think.
Okay.
But basically, they rushed this thing out, and only 12 went to every store. And people were freaking out, thinking that that was going to be the only shipment ever made. And so people hoarded these things and were thinking they were going to be worth millions. But then they kept releasing them after that in the millions.
Okay.
And so really only, like, the first couple batches had the PVC.
So it's kind of like the Amiibo issue.
And so that's why those go for more, basically. So, moving on.
As it is, with PE pellets, in this condition, which is good condition.
$5.
It's not excellent, it's not mint, it's not very good.
This thing is $5.
And they sell for that. That's based on a sales record retail where someone actually paid that much for...
I'm gonna call your horse right now.
To eBay.
So here's the thing. You can search Princess Beanie Baby, sort by highest, and people are going to be selling these things for thousands of dollars.
Of course, this is...
But nobody's buying them.
Yeah.
This is what they're asking for.
Yeah.
If you sort by sold, let's see what the most expensive one is. Best offer accepted. It doesn't say, so let me...
Those are usually... Like,
okay, 500, first edition. This is extremely high. I want to see why this one sold.
Also, people are idiots too. And
People are idiots, so it's like there's going to be a few people here and there that are spending more than they should. But, so yeah, this is definitely an outlier. Now we're getting down into, like, this is still too high. But now let's do sorted by lowest. $1, $2, $2,
so
$2.
Yeah, if you're
Three,
not an idiot,
three.
you can
Like-
get them for $5 and under.
Like, again, the ones I was saying sold for high, those are the actual rare ones. These are the common.
Yeah.
Like, okay, moving on.
Similar piece in good condition. The Millennium. Now, this is pure marketing. The Millennium Bear is pure marketing.
Remember that for later.
Pure
It's
marketing.
pure marketing.
At the time of the Millennium, we're saying, oh, it's going to be year 2000, and this is very important. We've got a new Millennium. So they start to create these particular bears. So this particular bear also has a condition issue. We have to look at the tag. Now, it has this
What
whole
condition?
Condition issue.
What condition is?
I don't know what that
on the
means.
back of the tag.
Is
The
it
hologram
rumpled
tush
slightly?
tags are relatively collectible.
Hologram tush tags are relatively collectible. Okay. You want to explain that one a little bit? The hologram tush tag was introduced January 1999. It just signifies when it was made. There's no, like, if
But holograms.
any beanie has one, then every version of that one has one. There's no situation where it's like the rare holographic
shiny
Pokemon
one.
card. Yeah, it's like
That would
that's
be
just
funny.
how they were made.
That would be so funny if there were
Value
shiny
on this
Beanie
piece is
Babies.
about $25.
I mean, there kind of are.
So Maureen, this is Valentino.
Wait, go. Let's. How much did she say that was? 25.
Relatively collectible. Value on this piece is about $25.
$3. Again, people misunderstand this one, but
Is it because of the name of it, or
let's see the highest sell for this one, so I can about it. What the okay, well, the best offer. This was a beanie or a teeny
I'm
lot.
not
This
sure
was
what
a
it
lot.
means by the price?
It means this is what they were asking, and then somebody offered less, and they
Oh,
took it.
Gotcha.
So these are all lots.
Yeah.
This is a lot. It only shows the one, but I'm trying to find one where it's just one. $15. That's on the high end of things.
It comes with a little box too.
True. So here's the deal with Millennium. When this thing was first released, it was spelled with only one N in the name on both tags. Then it was corrected to have the tush tag correct, but the hangs tag still wrong. Then it was corrected to have them both right. Then it was changed so the ribbon was a different kind. Like, all four of these are considered pretty common and no more than like $3.
So Maureen, this is Valentino. And he
I have
was
some
very-
words about Valentino here.
So for the boyfriend who didn't know what to get you, right? And he couldn't afford jewelry, he's getting you Valentino, right? So basically
What's
what
wrong
you're
with
seeing
that?
here is the Valentino being
Like its
baby's
wonky
favorite
eyes?
PVC pellets.
PVC pellets, yes it is. Thank you for pointing that out. That doesn't matter. Also, its eyes are lopsided.
So that's one of your check marks for is it valuable. He's in
Oh my
good
God.
condition around the torso. Okay? Looks like the PVC pellets have not deteriorated after being seated for all this time.
What the does that mean?
What does it? Can you like? We need to Google that later. And
Being seated. What, if you stood it up, they wouldn't? Like,
then they would. I don't know. No idea.
Also that there is a little bit of dirt. You can see a little bit of real oil from the hands, a little bit of dirt in the back, mainly around the ear.
to be fair, the white ones do stain easier,
Yeah.
but
But it's
Eh.
white. It's white. Everything white stains.
get a shout wipe.
And then you have the original heart, you have the original bow, and the like. But typically, the nose color is going to be important. The brown nose versus the black nose.
I've got words.
Mm-hmm. Need to know Beanie Baby facts. All Valentinos, Halos, Curly, and Liberties have a brown nose. This is not an error.
Wait, so people think they have black noses?
That's the... There are so many morons selling Valentino on eBay, saying that it has errors. Like that. Like, it auto-completes with errors.
Yeah.
Like, here's Oh yeah, these are still the sold ones. Okay, so the highest that one ever sold, $27 with 17 errors. Yeah, bull. But let's turn that down a little bit and change it to what people are asking. Can we get rid of these, please? Okay. Yeah.
God.
And the thing is, every time you look at one of these, it lists the same bull. It's always, it has a brown nose instead of black. Only 2,000 were ever made. The dates on the tags don't match. The original is spelt with 2 I's. Surface is spelled as Sufis.
I don't understand.
KR 1965 indicates Korean market. There is an extra space before the exclamation points. Like, let me find one that actually says all this so that with every error.
I don't understand why people think they can sell that with such high...
Every one.
amount.
Original spelling, brown nose, space between homemade in on... off, people. But yeah. Point is, some beanies were always made with a brown nose. This is one of them. It has nothing to do with anything.
So Valentino is relatively important. He's also made in 1993 and introduced in 1993, which is quite old.
What is
January 1995. You're wrong.
For, of course, the Beanie Babies, the introductory years of the Beanie Babies. Value on this, about $100.
that? It's the best.
Off.
Best
Like,
expert in her field.
like that. Here's the thing.
Expert.
Here's the thing. It has a tag that says 1993, so if you don't know and you look at that, you're going to say it was released in 93. Fair enough. It was actually January 1995. The tags are just weird that way. However, the original version, Gen 2 hang tag, that one actually sells for a couple hundred because there were very few made. This one's a Gen 4. This thing's like $5. Like, that makes a huge difference.
Now, doesn't have the
Oh,
same
it was so
historical
wise.
background as, of course, the Princess Diana, but the Princess Diana is much younger, too. That one, that Beanie Baby from 1997, this one from 1993. So
I love how she's saying the older one is automatically worth more,
Yeah.
even though that means it's been around longer and more were made.
nice one, too, and highly collectible. Lots of people have it with the brown nose.
Yeah, highly collectible. Lots of people have it with the brown nose, so $100.
To be fair, a lot of people do have it with the brown nose, because they all have brown noses.
Yeah. Here's where it gets really bad.
There are some that are here that are pretty
It gets
interesting,
worse?
like this one.
It gets so much
This one is
worse.
Patti the Platypus. Patti the Platypus is one of the 9 original Beanie Babies, and they come up all the time.
9 original,
They're
isn't it?
So here's the thing. The original 9 were made in January 1994. Patti was one of them, not this specific version of it, but whatever. And those do sell for a lot if they have Gen 1 tags. This one doesn't. Any of the ones made later are super common, and it doesn't matter if they're originals because they're still highly, like, massively produced. So, like, who gives a shit?
Date to 1993, and the only thing is you've got a crease in this particular tag, which decreases value a little.
Like, put it in a book.
It's paper.
It's not even paper, it's
not even
fabric.
paper,
There's no crease.
It's got a wrinkle.
Little bit. So she's worth about $60 in this.
$3. Like, I'm not gonna look every one of these up on
Right,
eBay,
right. But that seems weird. Even if it wasn't original, if it was original, wouldn't that be more?
if it was an actual original first
Yeah.
gen deep fuchsia Patti, in mint condition, that thing would be like over $1,000.
Yeah, like so.
Or at least several hundred.
So even this is kind of weird if they're thinking this is a first gen, but unless they specify.
Well, no, she doesn't think it's she's just
Oh,
saying
okay.
like, oh, well, because this was an original,
Oh,
it's
gotcha. Gotcha.
people will go for this one. Like,
Condition. So that's what you have here. Then there are some that aren't worth much at all.
here we go. There are some that aren't worth much at all.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna find actually Beanie Babies
Like the
that
plastic.
are worth $1.
Yes, this is a royal blue peanut. I'd like to point that out.
What? Really?
I mean, I don't know what else it would be. It's blue and it has a tail.
Yeah.
Like,
And $1.
now,
Wait, she has a royal blue peanut.
like,
And-
is that not what this is? Like,
It looks like it, unless it's
like,
yeah. Wait, what's the other version of that one? Like, what color does that look like?
light blue. It's
Is it fairly noticeable?
It's extremely noticeable.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it almost looks gray.
So,
Yeah.
so here's the thing with royal blue peanut. People mislabel this thing on eBay. Mislabel this thing on eBay constantly because there's the buddy version, which is like the bigger, like soft
Right.
toy one.
It's not the buddy version.
It's
right?
not because this one's small. It's also not the teeny beanie because it's
Right.
not that small. they don't show this thing close enough for me to get a good look at its tag, because, like...
This poor lady.
So, like, Royal Blue Peanut was released June 1995, and then changed to the light blue version a couple months later. It's not actually the rarest beanie, but it's one of the most famous, and
Right,
kind of
it's
gets...
well-known.
It gets, like, kind of an increase in price just because it's desirable. So, like, a good condition one is always going to sell for at least a few $100s. It sometimes goes more. And it always has a Gen 3 hang tag and a Gen 1 tush, and it's also highly counterfeited.
Maybe it's counterfeit.
If this is a counterfeit, then saying it's worth $1 is true. But she doesn't say
really
that.
Look at it. Yeah.
Like, she's just like, oh, it's $1.
She doesn't mention...
Like, at least say
Ooh.
it's a fake.
Ooh,
Like,
what if she's one of those people who's pretending? Like, what if she's buying these
oh god, a
people,
scammer?
and she's a scammer, and she's like, oh, Royal Blue, it's $1.
Yeah. But yeah, like,
Beanie Babies.
Because she doesn't even mention it.
yeah, like,
And $1.
And they cost more than that when they were made, right?
And $1. Yeah, today the market is dropped.
The
Like-
lady's face is, she's like, "But
I
my Royal
want
Blue
to
Peanut."
see the front of this tag. It annoys me that I can't
Yeah.
tell, because if it's actually something else and I'm just not knowing what that is, then
That much.
it looks like it
looks
is.
like the elephant,
Go
yeah.
through, and of course, as soon as you put them in the bag, some of them are not worth the cost of the bag. This one.
So mean.
This one is just sort of the free-for-all party Beanie Baby. Would have been used
That one's
all the
kinda
time,
cute. I like
not
that one.
particularly, again, popular. And notice
Okay, let me listen to that again.
this one, because this one is just sort of the free-for-all party Beanie Baby.
The free-for-all party Beanie Baby. This is Tie 2K. It's specifically related to the new Millennium. What did you say earlier? It's all marketing. Millennium is popular. Like, what the f*** is the difference?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing.
Would have been used all the time, not particularly, again, popular. And notice your Valentino had a brown nose, and this one is the same doll, basically, with a black nose.
Same doll, you know, it's like,
But it's
it's
different.
exactly the same thing.
But
There's
it's
no
different.
difference at all.
I'm so confused. Why does she say it's the same thing? It's not.
Because she's stupid.
She's a scammer. She's gonna buy this
To be-
fucking collection with that Royal Blue Peanut.
To be fair, Tie 2K isn't actually valuable. It's another like $3 to $5
Yeah.
one. It
It's
was
kinda cute, though.
it was released September 99, retired December 99.
What a great
but
name for it. Is it
like-
because of the Y2K thing? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the last Gen 5s to be released,
Oh,
but
okay.
like I wouldn't disagree with the price, but the reasoning was
Are the tiny beanies, or the baby beanies. And,
don't
you know,
call them by their
they're
actual name, of
small.
course.
So these tiny ones, while popular, are worth about 10 to 50 cents a piece.
Not wrong. What is that face?
That's the apology
They were
face.
probably utilized and then taken
I do
out.
like how she keeps giving these
Original
people.
packaging is very important.
without gloves.
These would have had an original package where others don't.
Also, the bikinis in the original package are still not worth more than like $1.
Yeah.
I bought the full set of 68 of them, and yeah, they were about $1 each.
I do like that peanut thing. That's so weird.
That was weird, and now here it happens again.
Oh.
Anytime you have a collection and you can increase value just by buying more.
Yeah.
So people go, oh, I didn't know that.
I love this.
What?
Man, you've got a great collection here. I love these 4 hippities you have.
You can increase value by buying more.
Well, yeah, a
That's-
collection of
that's
200
how
is going to
that
cost than a
works.
collection of 1.
That's how that works. You don't just buy one N64 game and like, oh man, I have a great collection, and then you buy like 5 more. I have an even better collection than you.
Yeah. But, like I said, I like the 4 hippities. I'm sure there's a bunch of other
that's
duplicates in here, but those stand out just because of the color.
Yeah. I wonder that's why that happened.
Add to your collection,
Yeah.
you actually increase the value a little bit of the entire collection.
So it was good that I was a little crazy.
You get more,
Crazy.
so it's worth more.
Okay, go
It
ahead.
was like the bongo.
So tell me about Bongo. So you bought Bongo.
Yeah.
Okay, This is a-
the degradation.
so here we go. This is a Gen 3 tag. Those stopped being made in about June of 1996.
How can you tell?
The,
because of the star.
Yeah, the Gen 3 is the fat bubble letters with no star. Now, a beanie with a Gen 3 tag isn't necessarily super valuable, but they usually go for more than like the average of like 3 to 5 that almost everything else is. They kind of hover around like the $20 range usually, But this is a special one. This is actually a really rare one, and she just all over this thing. Like...
So I know, like, with, like, mistakes that people tended to want them more.
That's a myth.
It is?
That's a myth.
So...
That's a myth.
I have a few words about this part, because she's not wrong.
But she's also not right.
The mistake thing is really, really stupid, and it needs to die off. The whole, like, Valentina with mismatched dates, blah, blah, blah. That's people looking for, like, extra pixels on the colon and the birth date. Like, this is slightly smudged, so it's worth millions. Like, that shit is stupid. However, the error here isn't really an error. It's that when this beanie was first released, it was called Nana, and then, like, extremely shortly afterwards, like less than a month, they changed it to Bongo. And they actually did it in such a way where they started putting a sticker that says Bongo over the name. Mm-hmm. And that's what this thing has. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, oh, whatever.
All this information about mistakes is one of the big myths on the internet. People sometimes do it for sport. They give you misinformation or they discredit experts. All that information about, oh, it has this mistake, oh, it has that mistake, not always relates to value. Okay. Now, this becomes a condition issue.
Yeah.
You wrote on this.
Right.
You know, to Kara from Mom. So she wrote on it. And
so, there is a problem. Yeah, it's been written on, so it is damaged. It's not in particularly good condition. But let's zoom in on this thing.
We're getting CSI up in this like CSI wannabe.
You can tell there's a shadow. This is the one with the sticker.
It looks like it's got one, yeah.
Yeah, this is a Nana with a Bongo sticker. Even with the writing,
it
like,
would be worth something.
The fact that so few of these were ever made means that, like, it's gotta be something. Like, maybe not that much, but it's not worthless.
Yeah.
And
it's not a buck.
And just to prove, like, that this thing is worthwhile, again, going back to this site that has, like, all the articles and stuff, there's one that's, like, actually, oh, they have one on Nana specifically, interesting. Yeah, it's like, what type beanie is the rarest? There's, like, a few lists on here. For the top 10 one's retail release, Nana is actually on this list. It says, especially with no Bongo sticker ever, but it's still, like, in the higher tier. Like, this thing is super rare.
It's lovely. Yeah. It's a nice sentiment. Right. But sentiment just decreased value.
Right.
Okay? So, don't write on the tag. Okay. But all this thing about
write on it.
Tags, yes, mistakes can have an impact on value, but usually it's a myth that it's going to spike value. So that's Bongo the Monkey. Let's talk about some of the other ones that are not worth all that much. Okay. For example, your unicorns are not worth all that much. They don't collect very well.
Your unicorns don't collect very well.
What?
The does that mean?
So there's just one unicorn?
I mean, in the later ones, in the later gens, there probably are. I only know 1 through 5.
What does,
but, like,
why point out the unicorn though?
And she keeps going on about this stuff too. But like, this is a version 2 Mystic. This is the most common one. So yeah, it's not worth anything. But yeah. I love the logic. Your unicorns aren't worth much.
Any ones that relates to a particular situation or time period. In this particular case, the season of, graduation seasons. Oftentimes the Beanie Baby pumpkins are not all that collectible. These are...
all of those pumpkin beanies. You're tripping over those things.
I gotta give it to her though. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, like that's what
sounds like it.
Like bullshitting so much.
She knows how to bullshit.
Like,
unless she actually believes it.
They're all oftentimes worth somewhere around $1 a piece, so about $1 a piece. So you want to try to think about those, a Santa Claus that is a Beanie Baby, not usually very collectible. So again, these are about $1.
What does that mean?
The only thing I can think of is...
But beyond that, they're not the same kind of...
I can't think of anything.
And I like how she specifically points these out, because the pumpkin, Santa, and 1998 Teddy are actually like my white whales.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid trying to collect all of them, like, these 3 only lasted for 3 months. They were for the holiday season and then they were gone. Everybody, I guess, just bought them up immediately, and so I never actually found any in stores. I had to get them all, like, from garage sales and stuff. And I always thought that they were really rare and hard to come by. Apparently they're not. They're all still only in like the $5 range, but
Probably because they were mass produced, even with the 3 months.
yeah, and so I can understand that, but I just like how she singles those out, like, oh, nobody gives a shit about this. Like,
Then there are the, what I call the middle range Beanie Babies, like Inky. And
That's so cute.
wait a minute, hold on.
there are the, what I call the middle range Beanie Babies, like Inky.
Okay, no, it's a Gen 4, never mind. I thought that was an older tag.
Oh.
Inky. And Hippity and Hoppity, that were always, of course, the bunny rabbits that were very popular. Inky, the squid. who's
It's not a
popular.
squid, it's an octopus.
And this is just for basic popularity's sake. So these become relatively important, and I'm scanning
Why is
as
it
we
called
look to see
Inky?
which other ones. Oh, Claude the Crab here is oftentimes quite popular. Sorry to reach over you there, Karen.
What do you mean?
Wait, I thought Squids Inc.
I think octopuses do too, I'm not sure, but
I don't think they
either way, she's basically saying like, oh, these are the middle range, like these ones are popular because people like these animals. Singles out Claude, of course, because everybody has to say that Claude is worth money when it isn't.
Oh.
But, like, how much is
So that's what you're looking at. Versus, so these are anywhere between $15 and $35 a piece.
Absolutely not. These are $3 beanies. Like, when I say $3, I mean they can go higher, like, give or take
Yeah,
a few, but,
obviously.
like, Inky was, like, Gen 4 specifically, it started in Gen 4, or, I mean, it was actually one of the originals, but let's just say, like, the Gen 4 version was there when the tag changed over, ran until May 1998. It was around for, like, 2 years with no changes. This thing is not rare. These two, slightly less time, still very common. Like, there's no way these things are $35.
Okay, so these are relatively valuable. But the most valuable group are some that you have right here. You have almost the whole group of the original 9 Beanie Babies.
Almost
Really?
the whole group.
Wow, that's pretty good if she does.
Again, not Gen 1s.
Oh.
Just,
Oh.
you have the ones that were in the original 9, but,
Gotcha.
like, the later versions of
I
them.
thought she was talking
So-
about like she actually had the.
Also, almost the whole group, she has 5. But,
What? The moose. Legs the frog. Squealer the pig. This is Patti the platypus. And Pinchers the lobster.
so these are the 5 she has. I'd like to point out these pictures are wrong, because these are the 2004, like, BBOC Original 9 recreations. You can tell because they have a pin on the back of them.
BBOC.
Beanie Baby Official Club.
Oh.
So, like, you're getting the idea right, but it's the wrong pictures. I hate when people do that. So, of these 5, yes, they were all introduced in the, like, they were all original 9s, but speaking specifically of the common Gen 4 or 5 versions, ran until May 98, May 98, May 98, December 98, October 97. None of them were short-lived, none of them were rare.
So of the original 9, you have 5. The other ones are Splash, Flash, one's a dolphin, one's a whale, and Spot the dog, who I looked and you don't seem to have Spot, unfortunately.
So, again, with these 4, just to be thorough about it, these are still the ones with the stupid pins on them, but May 97, October 97, and,
Spot doesn't
or,
seem to have
or actually December 97, this one's October 97. Yeah, this one is weird. Like, this one picture is
So-
specifically the version with no
So they
spot.
probably just Googled the name.
Like, this one isn't the recreation one, but it's also the one that doesn't have the spot on it, which is, like, the rare version that stopped being produced in, like, April of 94. So, like, there's no consistency.
Yeah.
But
So basically what you're looking at are these, and these are a really good collection of the original 9. To have
Yeah, all 5 of them.
pretty good. I had, of course, some clients who have all 9. So these
I mean, I
range
have all
around
9,
between about
just saying.
$125 and $150 a piece.
Her Beanie Baby.
$3 each one of these.
Like they're not the original.
Like, legs maybe 5.
'Cause
The other... just because it's like slightly older than the rest. Like these could all be Gen 5s. This one never made it to Gen 5, but
She's
like
not specifying that these are recreations either.
yeah, like I
Does
mean,
she actually think these are original? And if they are original, would they go to 125, 150?
if they were original, they'd be like way higher than that.
That's what I mean.
Like,
I'm
here,
confused by the
let's
pricing.
let's go into tag generations a little bit. So legs, Beanie Baby, with no parameters, just searching lowest first. $1.
Buy it now for $6.
Here's just random baby clothes. There's a bunch of cards and shit. But yeah, so this one's not special. These are about what you'd expect. Now, legs, Beanie Baby, Gen 1. Let's see if any actually show up. I'm going to sort by highest just to see if they actually appear in here. Yeah, here's one with actually the Gen 1 tag. These are asking prices. We can't trust these. But these are more in line of what I'd expect.
Yeah.
Like...
See, I would expect around like 150 to 200, I suppose, for original. Not knowing anything about it.
Like, let's see if there's any sold ones. Is this a Gen? Oh, this one's Tish tag only. Hey, look, it's a set of original 9, and they sold for $10.
Not the first gen tags, though.
Are they?
I'd hope not.
They've got the original Tush. I think they're missing the tags, though.
Oh, I see. That's weird.
It's not the 4-line Korean Tush, so they might not be Gen 1, but it's at least semi-old. But yeah, it's just stupid. Like, just, these are so not worth what she's saying.
In a collection. If you had all 9, or if you're at your mom's house, you're like, wow, we found another tub of Beanie Babies, which might happen at your mom's house, right? Possible. Then basically, you might be able to actually increase the value. But anytime you add to that collection, you increase value a little bit more. So these are about $150 a piece. They're all in very good shape. Chocolate is among one of the most popular, and sometimes he sells as high as $250. Your condition on...
God, what the where are you getting these numbers?
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's from just, like, private estate sales or something. That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, is this an actual... Okay, here's an actual sold one. This is a Gen 1 chocolate, $225. Like...
Good pictures.
I mean, you have to do this, because it's...
Okay.
Is this the 4-line? No, that's the 5-line.
I like the tush tag protector.
Yeah. So yeah, this is an actual original one, basically. Like, this... The Gen 1 tag stopped being made partway through 1994.
Authenticated by an actual expert.
Yeah. Yeah, there's yeah, Becky Estensoro, I don't know how you pronounce that, but yeah, she's like one of the actual people on the site here who kind of knows like what she's talking about, unlike this other lady. But
Business Insider.
Chocolate is not worth that. Okay? Yeah. So these are the real values. This is what they're really worth. Let's talk about handbooks.
this is what they're really worth. Like, what?
The McDonald's ones are usually less valuable.
Okay.
Unless they're within a collection of other McDonaldland toys. Okay.
I have like full collection.
Full collection. So full collection will increase value about 20% because you've already assembled a collection for the next guy. Right. That has a value.
I think there is some logic to that. I won't complain there.
But that's kind of goes without saying.
Right. But these books,
Like
these
the whole...
handbooks, not only this handbook, but any handbook that talks about a value is going to be obsolete about the time, right a minute after it's printed. A minute after it's printed, it's obsolete. And the reason...
Here's the thing with that, though. Like, this is a book from the 90s, so obviously it's going to be way off.
Yeah, that will
but
be obsolete.
You can kind of look at them and still get some information from them, though, because it'll point out which ones were valuable back then and which ones weren't. So it's like, if in the 90s... let's say, yeah, like let's say one of the hippities here, like, let's say it was worth like $15, that would have gone down by now, so it's not really worth anything. But if something used to be like $500, then you might know, like, hey, this one's worth looking into.
Yeah.
Like, it's not completely worthless.
It's interesting as a history thing, too.
People like it, people collect them, it shows you the different pieces, and it's nice and fun to do. Yeah. But again, any of these price guides are only good for the person who's basically writing the price guide. Yeah. Because the price can change within a minute of somebody paying more or less than the value in the price guide. So I don't care.
All it takes is one to spend $5,000 on a princess.
This is really a thing of the past.
And that's also a thing.
If you retain the tag, that's better than just gone.
Gone.
I threw it out,
Gone.
I don't know where it is, kind of thing.
It's all fishes
Now,
and
this
sharks.
is about $25.
That was beautiful.
Oh, that hurt. That was so bad.
That was beautiful. We need to
I
really just contact Business Insider and be like, you morons.
But I feel like I need to link this video, not my ranting of it, but the original video onto the Facebook group and like be like.
No, I would link the ranting as well.
I don't know if they'll allow my swearing, but
Yeah.
I like the dodo bird.
You can always ask. I mean, but yeah.
But yeah, so that was fun. I can imagine everybody watching this getting humor out of me being like, "Oh my god, you don't know all this. You're super nerdy." Like, yeah, I am.
Everybody's got to be nerdy about something. Just happens to be
Me off when people are wrong about stuff.
wrong on the internet.
I mean, what is this like? A royal blue peanut, a buck, all this other
I
stuff.
swear.
Oh, but you've got chocolate, $200.
I swear, she's got to be buying these collections, and she saw that Royal Blue Peanut, and she's like,
Maybe
oh,
that's
yeah.
why she's saying the common ones are worth much. Like, okay, you can have these back. I'll take
Yeah.
these off your hands.
I'll
Like,
just take these.
I'll just
you
throw
know.
this out.
I'll let you. I'll give you the. Let me dispose of these for you. You know.
My God.
That's the only reason I can think of. That's funny.
All right, I've talked long enough about this one, but yeah, this video me off. It was something special.
Bye.